At some point, Hollywood decided the best way to prove you love someone is to cause a scene about it. A public scene. Preferably in the rain. Ideally involving airport security. We watched this for 50 years and said yes, more of that. 4 reasons that's a problem. The first thing the grand gesture almost always has in common is that she already gave her answer and he didn't like it. Take The Notebook. Again. Sorry I keep coming back to it, it just has some good examples in it. Noah writes Allie a letter every day for a year. 365 letters. They all go unanswered. We know it's because of her mom hiding these letters, but Noah doesn't know that. To him, it's just being ghosted, so he stops writing and builds her a house. The specific house she described once during a summer romance that ended years ago. He built it while she was engaged to someone else.
He got the notion into his head that if he restored the old house where they had come that night, Allie would find a way to come back to her.
The film calls this devotion. Looking at it more clearly, you see a man deciding his interpretation of her feelings is more accurate than her actual answer. She's being fitted for a wedding dress meant for another man, and he's constructing a building based on something she said when she was 17. When Allie sees a photo of the finished house in a newspaper, she drives out to find him.
I saw your picture in the paper. The one with you in the house, and I just wanted to come and see if you were okay.
Leaves her fiancé, and again, the film treats this as the love story paying off. We cried at it. We put it on posters. But The Graduate is the one that really commits to the bit. Elaine takes it one step further, where instead of being engaged, she's already married. The ceremony is done. The vows are said, and Ben Braddock still runs to that church. He pounds on the glass gallery above the congregation, screaming her name until she defects and runs to him. On the way out, he grabs a cross from the altar and uses it to bar the doors, locking her parents, the groom, and everyone else inside so they can't follow. The film frames this as liberation, 2 people finally free. But again, it's a man treating a completed marriage as a negotiating position with such certainty that he will literally barricade people in a building to act on them. Yet again, we cheered. Now, here's the thing, and I want to be careful here, because I'm not saying the love isn't real. Noah does love Allie. Ben does love Elaine. The feelings are genuine. That's not what's broken. What's broken is the idea that genuine feelings give you the right to override someone else's answer. That loving someone hard enough means their initial no doesn't count. Fleabag gets this right in about 30 seconds. She tells him she loves him. He pauses, and then he says,
"It'll pass."
Gets up to walk away, and then says he loves her too. He doesn't engineer a situation where she has to respond in front of an audience. He loves her, she loves him, and he accepts that this isn't something he's going to act on. Both things exist at the same time. The show doesn't fix it with a gesture, it just sits with it. That scene is about 4 minutes long, and it's more honest about love than most 2-hour films we've ever watched. That's because grand gestures always skip over the answer. She gave one. Maybe it was a breakup. Maybe it was a wedding to someone else. Maybe it was just silence. And the film always makes sure it does. Mistake 2 is about why that works so reliably. Let me show you 2 situations and see if you can spot it yourself. Picture Kat in 10 Things I Hate About You. She's at soccer practice. She's not thinking about Patrick, she's just, at soccer practice. And then the PA system turns on. Patrick has a microphone. He's on the bleachers. He's singing. Security is chasing him around the stands. Her entire school has stopped what they're doing to watch.
Can't take my eyes off of you. I wanna hold you so much.
And every single person there is now watching her face to see what she does next. She laughs. She lets her guard down, and we love it. That's the first scene. Now look at how Love Actually does the exact same thing and somehow makes it more intense by casting a 12-year-old. Sam has spoken to Joanna maybe twice. She's flying back to the United States. He talks his way past the check-in desk, sprints through Heathrow without a boarding pass, gets chased by airport security, and finds her at the gate.
Joanna. Sam? I thought you didn't know my name. Of course I do.
She has a flight. She's in a contained space. There is nowhere to go. And now there's a boy out of breath in front of her with an audience who just caused an international airport incident because of his feelings. What does she do? She kisses him. Of course she does. Because the other option is being the girl who turned down the kid who just ran through Heathrow for her. The private version of both of these stories existed. A phone call, a letter, a conversation where the other person gets to respond without anyone watching to see what her face does. Neither of them took it. That has a reason behind it, as there's something in that scene that only works if you don't look at it too closely. Patrick built a situation where Kat saying no was going to cost her something. Be charmed publicly in front of everyone, or be the girl who rejected Heath Ledger on the bleachers while the whole school had front row seats. Those are the two options that gesture left her. It's kind of like the same reason I always plan a first date in a public place, not in a private home or anything. If the guy turns out to be a creep, there's the weight of other people around that keeps you safe. That same weight is what these grand gestures use to force a woman's hand. Does that mean grand gestures shouldn't exist? Well, no, there are so many ways you can still make a great one. Take when Harry met Sally. Harry shows up on New Year's Eve, finds Sally, and tells her he loves her.
The thing is, I love you.
What?
I love you.
But there's no real crowd to watch it. There's people around, but in the end it's just a private moment shared between two people. She could say whatever she actually feels, and she does. He tells her every specific thing he loves about her, and she tells him she hates him for saying it so late. She cries. They kiss. It works! And the only real difference is that she got to actually choose. We never noticed that detail when we're watching the bleacher scene, because the crowd is already cheering. That's the whole point of the crowd. But even without the crowd, there is something worth noticing, which is the third problem. But let's start with showing the right example first this time before naming the problem. Tim in About Time has the most useful romantic superpower imaginable. He can travel back in time. Any moment, any mistake, any missed opportunity, he can go back and do it differently. So, how does he use it? Does he manipulate it to his advantage to win over a girl? Well, no. He meets Mary at Don Le Noir, a restaurant that serves food in complete darkness. They talk, they flirt.
So, maybe I'll see you outside, or...
Yeah, great.
Great.
She gives him her number. It's a genuinely good first meeting. Then he goes back in time to fix a friend's play the same night and erases the whole thing.
Do the prosecution have anything final to add?
Mary never happened. He doesn't have her number anymore. So he goes to Kate Moss exhibitions. Every day until he spots her in the crowd.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. It's her.
By the time he finds her, she has a boyfriend. So he goes back just far enough to get there at the same party where Mary and her possible boyfriend would meet.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Tim.
Mary.
It's my mother's name. But let's not get into that.
No grand gesture needed. He just kept trying to not lose her. Later in the film, when his father is dying, Tim asks him if there's anything he'd like to do. His dad says, a quick little walk. They travel back to a beach from Tim's childhood, skimming stones. Just the two of them. The most powerful moment in that film is two people choosing to spend time together doing something ordinary. That's the thing about Tim. He has the ability to manufacture the most dramatic romantic gesture in history, and he never does it. Not once. He uses every chance he gets to pay attention, to notice what the moment actually needs, then show up for it. Have you been able to spot the problem yet? There's a few hints sprinkled in there, but now let's look at the problematic side of Love Actually again. Mark stands at Juliet's door, his best friend's wife, and holds up cards one at a time until the last one reads, That's where it ends. And it does not leave any space for her to say anything back. A statement about his love delivered to her face, and then he walks away. He got what he came for. She didn't get asked a single thing. Okay, one more example. 4 weddings and a funeral. Charles is at the altar where he signs to his deaf brother that he can't go through with it.
I suspect the groom. I suspect the groom.
The wedding falls apart. His bride, Henrietta, runs off crying. She gets the nickname Duckface from the same friends who were supposed to be celebrating her that day. Then she disappears. The film cuts straight to Charles knocking on Carrie's door in the rain, and that's it.
I just wanted to check you're okay. Not busy killing yourself or anything, but...
Her entire wedding day just became the backdrop for his love story, and the film doesn't spend a single second wondering how she's doing. We didn't either. We were too busy watching Charles in the Rain. Tim's time travel faces outward, toward what someone else needs, toward not losing a real moment, and makes such a big difference. We actually get to know the other people for who they are. When they get it wrong, we're only getting a grand gesture that's built around his feelings. The cue cards face inward. The rain scene faces inward. For both these films, a woman is just standing there, being the surface a guy projects his feelings onto. Charles never thinks about Henrietta because the gesture leaves no room for it. Which brings me to my last point. When you strip away the feeling of all of these scenes, when you turn the music off and just watch what's happening, what you're left with is something these films have been very careful not to show you clearly. And for this last part, I want you to imagine something. You and someone have been fighting. Maybe you broke up. Maybe he cheated on you and later realized what kind of prize you were. Either way, things are not good. You're at the airport about to board a flight to finally have some time for yourself. And then he's there. He ran through the terminal. He doesn't have a ticket. He got past security somehow. He's out of breath and he's standing at your gate, and everyone around you has gone quiet because they can see what's happening. What do you feel? Now, when you're watching a film, like in that moment, actually, your stomach. Your first instinct before anything else lands. It's probably not love. It's probably, oh God. It's probably, why is he here? What does he want? How do I get out of here? Who's watching? The alarm comes first, every time, and the film has about 30 seconds to override it before you start asking questions it doesn't want you to ask. That's what the music is for. That's what the slow motion is for. That's what the rain is for. Take 4 weddings. The scene everyone remembers, Charles in the rain confessing to Carrie. It's soft and awkward, and Hugh Grant is doing that thing with his face. Now run the same scene with the sound off. A man who left another woman at the altar an hour ago is now telling you he loves you. That's what's happening. He was at the altar with someone else today. Her dress is somewhere. Her family drove home from that church, and he's soaking wet, having apparently decided that what this day needed was one more dramatic moment.
Is it still raining? I hadn't noticed.
Creating one of the more quoted lines in romantic comedy history. And what it's doing, what it has to do, is tell you that she's so overwhelmed by feeling that she stopped registering the physical world. That's how much this means. The film needed that line because without it, the first thing any of us would say to someone who just showed up like that is, what happened to the woman you left at the church? Research into how people actually experience unwanted pursuit found something that probably doesn't surprise you, but is worth saying anyway. The single variable that determines whether someone's persistence feels romantic or threatening is whether you wanted them there. The film solved this by telling you she wanted it. The music says she wanted it. Her face says she wanted it. The crowd cheering says she wanted it. You never actually see the first second, the one before all of it, because the film cuts away from it, or scores over it, or frames it from his perspective, so you're inside his urgency instead of her reality. Normal People doesn't do any of that. Like, Normal People the film, not normal people in general. Connell and Marianne find each other and lose each other across years, and there's no moment in that show where one of them stages something designed to force the other's hand. The love is real and painful, and sometimes they get it wrong, and sometimes they're just two people trying to figure out if this is something. It's also considerably harder to watch than any of the films we've talked about, because nothing is doing the work of telling you how to feel. You just have to sit with it, which, now that I think about it, is probably what love actually feels like. But instead of actual love, we learned that love is supposed to look like someone who won't take no. Someone who builds a scene big enough that no becomes impossible. Someone who centers their own feelings so completely they forget to ask about yours, and calls that devotion. Do you want to do it the right way? Start with realism. And if you're unsure what I'm talking about, click here to find out.